I met Willie Burns in 1977 when I became a police officer at the City of Elberton Police Department. Willie Burns and myself was the next generation of policemen. Willie Burns was very articulate, smart. He can handle himself in all situations. And he kind of took me on his arm and started tutoring me. And we stayed in a lot of trouble because, not because we were bad policemen, it's because it's hard for people to change. And to actually see a police officer like Burns, who had the capacity to do his job, smart enough to do his job, and and any other police department would have been promoted, and would have been running the shift. You know, they didn't like it, and as I always said, I used to constantly hear that he don't know his place, and his place was, I went to the same police academy you went to. I had to test and pass all of the tests that you had. So I had to qualify just like you. And I refused to allow you to treat me differently. And that kept him in trouble because I was watching him at the time. I was just getting there, and I had to get the West Coast out of me because I was came there from the Army, and I was stationed out in Texas, and I had met people that didn't act the same way. It was a little bit more liberal. So I had to get that out of me, and he kind of protected me during those things because, he knew that I was going to get in trouble, and I can reflect now and say that he was the reason I worked there for almost 8 years because he showed me how to handle myself and to deal with a place that didn't like you, didn't appreciate you, and we never got to patrol together. I think we might have patrolled together one time. But the biggest thing was that Willie Burns was the one that showed me that you can be yourself and be proud of yourself and to excel and not to worry. Because, he said a lot of black men lose their job because they're good at it. And he said, that's one thing that I want you to be as good at it because right today I envy him on how he handled himself. I envy him as the presence that he get when he walks into a room, strictly professional, and being professional, he has this ability to pull people in, and his being professional don't push him away. And that's something that I didn't have, and I had to find out. But he was a great mentor when it came to those things because I watched him and I watched how he handled himself, and I watched how he spoke. He changed my whole vernacular. He taught me to be able to have a conversation with anybody, and I had to get to that point by reading books and doing stuff like that. But he could walk into a room and have a conversation about anything. I like that about him. I really did. I mean, you know, he could be a psychologist if he had to be. He could be a mechanic. Even though he wasn't doing those things, he just had this ability to let you know you can trust me and that I'm gonna do my best to give you the right answers. So Willie Burns had a great influence on me. And when I found out that he had became mayor in Washington, I was not surprised because that's where Willie Burns was. There was nothing in society that he didn't think he was capable of doing. And he gave that impression every place he went. And, it's a great thing to know him, for him to be a friend. And I wish him all the success. Even though we're getting old birds, I still know that you got a lot to do. And I wish you all the success in the world, man. And thank you for allowing me to speak, to let you know the profound effect that you had on my life.